Hello, I'm Heather Gregg and my tagline is all the arts all the time. Today I'm celebrating having 600 viewers. I'm celebrating having been on YouTube for a few years talking about books, and I'm coming back in a way to where I started, which is with a Christian Aid bookshop charity book sale. So my family obviously are primed to let me know about any bookish things going on, and I was told that there was a Christian Aid book sale on today, and I thought it wouldn't be that great because it was only on for 2 hours. I thought, what is this? Because the Christian Aid book sale in Edinburgh was a full week. So I went anyway, and of course I got books, and I discovered another group of a different way of it happening, in a sense. It was held in a church hall. The welcome was amazing. This is the first year they've run it. Last year for Christian Aid they focused on having a fashion sale apparently, and the books were great. Lots of space, gigantic hall, and a part of it set aside for having teas and coffees. So the hospitality was second to none. I mean, I took a little photograph. You can see the china, the home baked goodies, which are provided with that air of this is how hospitality is done. Traditional Irish hospitality is of the version, and of Northern Irish as well, is of the version that you should stagger away from the table almost ill with goodies, and especially baking. Home baking is something people take pride in. Right, let's get to the books. So, for ages I have been envious of people who've gone to bookshops, even second-hand bookshops, where the prices are so small that you can choose to buy books, and it's quite, it's not a big purchase. I've gone to so many second-hand bookshops which have been fantastic, really nice, but then you end up paying more than you would really care to pay for a book that's second-hand, slightly worn, etc. But there was no problems with the prices there, which is great because whenever a book sale is going to be only on for 2 hours, the game is to get as many books sold. There's no point in having high prices and then thinking, 30 minutes from the end will reduce the prices. No, you just start low and sell in bulk. We start off with G.K. Chesterton Selected Essays. So it's a small little book, and it's a wee bit faded, but I made the point of looking at it to see what it was. And it's a collection of his essays, and it's got that lovely way that old books are made, that they are literally a pocketbook. You could literally slip this into a jacket pocket and read at any given moment when you want to do it. So, for example, the essays are on things like phonetic spelling, the mad official, that sounds good, how I found the Superman, the appetite of earth, and Shop of Ghosts, which I've heard read, which is a wonderful Christmas story. Okay, pleased with that. James Boswell, The Life of Johnson. A classic biography, which I have yet to get to, which is on my list, so I was pleased to see that. From the Penguin English Library. You can't really go far wrong, can you? Then, Nick Hornby, High Fidelity. Now, I am currently interested in Nick Hornby, and especially the fact that he crosses over between music and literature, and this book, of course, is about the main character working in a second-hand record shop. So, keen to read that. And then, of course, reference books are great to get in a second-hand or a charity book sale because they're so much cheaper as reference, but then you can keep them. So a few of my books are going to fall into that and be reference books. Here I have got the Penguin Dictionary of Modern Humorous Quotations. So of course I looked up books and reading. Benjamin Disraeli, when I want to read a book, I write one. H.L. Mencken, the chief knowledge that a man gets from reading books is the knowledge that very few of them are worth reading. And this comment I love. P.J. O'Rourke, National Lampoon, 1979. Don't read science fiction books. It'll look bad if you die in bed with one on the nightstand. Always read stuff that will make you look good if you die in the middle of it. So, have Have you thought about that then when you consider what books you're going to have on your nightstand? I wonder. Biography, Sheila Hancock. Couldn't miss that. Old Rage, but obviously the R is more golded out, so it's really old age. And it's things that she feels passionately about. And the bit in the back is quite funny. In 2016, Sheila Hancock sat down to write a book about a serene and fulfilled old age. This is not that book. So, she's great. She's a thinker. She has a lifetime of being a phenomenal actress, being married to an actor who's very popular as well, John Thaw as well, writing about so many things in life, including what it was like whenever he had passed away and her life on her own. And that's 5 books. And the ladies who were at the book sale said, now if it's 6 books, you get 6 books for 5, so would you want to go and find another one? So of course, yes, I had another one that I had been looking at. And it's not light reading, An Evil Cradling by Brian Keenan, who was one of the hostages, if you remember, such a long time ago. And he wrote this book. Winner of the Irish Times Irish Literature Prize for Non-Fiction, unsurprisingly, written in tremendously difficult circumstances. He was at Beirut University, he was taken hostage in 1986, and he's writing about this. So, yeah. It's not just only that he went through these severe circumstances, but he was someone from Northern Ireland, and he had done his degree in English literature, and he also did an MA in Anglo-Irish literature, and then he was taken hostage. So he was a writer, he was somebody who was thinking in terms of words before it happened, so he was somebody able to write about it. And here we come to the bigger books. I recently met an artist who is extremely interested in Devencorn, so I saw a large book by him. So this is something that interests me more, and perhaps I may pass it on to the artist if he doesn't already have this book. But I think he's so influenced by the artist already that I think he probably has got one. And then I had a book which I lovingly filmed, thinking this is a book I'm not bringing back, so I'll just let people see it because it's just so interesting pattern wise. And then of course I fell in love with it and bought it myself. And it is modestly titled The Style Sourcebook, the definitive visual directory of fabrics, wallpapers, paints, flooring and tiles by Judith Miller. And it's published by Mitchell Beasley. And it really is what it says. If you were somebody trying to work back through time and work out what you should put in your Victorian house, then this would be the one. Obviously, I am not in a Victorian house, but there's just endless, it's like having the DNA between the covers of a book that you can just open and see at any given point. There's just so much inspiration, and since I am interested in and partly painting, I almost hesitate to use the words as it's in my own style, but there's endless inspiration here. And I just opened a page at random and photographed it, and one of them had a picture of this little animal, and then pictorials pre-18th century, and then one which was called Willem, which I think is of sort of William the Conqueror kind of style. It's got that Bayeux tapestry feel to it, which is just utterly astonishing. So, for pure reference, interest, and visual stimulation, this I thought would be a great book to have. And a Thames and Hudson book. Now, I just love Thames and Hudson art books. Chanel Collections and Creations. How about that? And when you look inside, the photographs are just obviously fantastic. And the opulence. But the sense of style by somebody who made a style for a lot of the 20th century is just astonishing to have. Oh, it's originally from a library book sale, withdrawn from stock. So someone has got it from a library book sale and then has passed it on. But there was a lovely little quote there. Luck is a way of being. Luck is not a little person. Luck is my soul. Gabrielle Chanel. I'm interested seriously in looking at her and her life at the moment because she had so much influence across the arts. So that book is actually on track for what I want. And finally, biggest for last. Such a heavy book, it has separated slightly from its spine, but I'll re-glue it. But it is completely on the money for things that interest me, which is intermediality, which is where the arts are crossing over. And this is called Jazz Scene. So it's photographs of jazz players, the jazz scene, by a very famous photographer, William Claxton, who specialised in just that particular genre. And the pictures are just magnificent. They are, it's a big heavy book, as you can see. They are moody and dark, and there's so much black in them. I mean, it is just a book of such quality. It captures a sense of time. It's got behind the scenes pictures. It's got on screen, even sometimes pictures from television appearances. It's just across the board magnificent. And the other thing that's so interesting about this book is that there are not too many words in it. What they are worth hearing. In particular, right at the start, he says something. Jazz and photography, two seemingly distinct and different arts, the one oral, the other visual. Yet beneath the superficial distinctions and differences, there are striking similarities. The photographer, like the jazz musician, works with an instrument which can be cumbersome, demanding, and difficult. For the photographer, says Claxton, the camera is like a jazz musician's axe. It's a tool you would like to be able to ignore, but you have to convey your thoughts and whatever you want to express through it. And the photographer, again like the jazz musician, must react in a split second, immediately organising all the technical data of his art, exposure, focus, lighting, lens opening, into an instantaneous reaction. His goal at this point is almost identical to that of the jazz musician, the goal of bringing skill and virtuosity to the service of capturing a moment in time, a brief, unrepeatable moment of insight into the heart of intimate, emotional reality. Fabulous. So, these are my new editions. I held back a bit because I do have a list of books I specifically want. But these are pretty close. Plus, in amongst all the non-fiction, you need to have some things that are, in a way, more light or quicker to look at for visual refreshment, or a small amount for research, but just also for general reading. And that's the delight about a charity bookshop. Everybody wins. You get a book for a very reasonable price. The money's going towards some good charity. And at the end of the day, if you don't like it, the book can be passed on to somewhere else. And so the story goes on. I'm pleased with what I've got. And I will maybe be reporting back as I read more of these and decide exactly how long they're going to stay in my library. Thank you for being with me for this. Thank you for all the people who have subscribed to my channel, for all you 600 people. And I hope you are finding lots of bookish delights on it and enjoying being there. Bye for now.